Welcome to Wadi Akarit here in North Africa, my friends. We are playing Unity of Command 2 once again and trying to get a nice little victory here. Now, one of the toughest parts about this particular map is the fact that our men are going to be overextended very quickly. We need to take Infidaville and we need to take Sfax. If we could take both of these areas fairly quickly, we'll be okay. But if we run out of supply, we're going to have some serious trouble. If you take a look at the little orange icon here on the enemy is dug in along the line, and obviously that's going to be a problem for us. And over here in the northwest, we really just don't have that many forces, not enough to make much of a difference. And as you can see, they don't do so well against the enemy. So I'm showing you guys the outcome of the battle. And we end up losing men no matter what. Now, the one really cool thing among many about Unity of Command 2 is you've got this card deck, and you can use the prestige you earned from previous missions to purchase new cards. So I purchased a bomber card. I also purchased a U.S. amphibious landing card and a battleship card to assist with breaking through the enemy lines. Now, I'm trying to decide where exactly I want to use these cards. I'm thinking that for the airstrike, I want to use it here, and the best case scenario here, you can see there's a bridge. If we could either get across this bridge and take Sousse, or if we could break through the center here at Sidi Bouzid and just take Sfax, we would cut off all of the units here, all of the enemy units. Not a single one would be able to stand up and fight. So I think that's the plan. Pretty much, yeah, that's the plan. Now, to break through here, we're going to try to do it with our armor. So I'm going for the SDKFC. We're going to try and damage this thing so that it's instantly destroyed. And I'm actually going to be bringing one of my tanks here from the west over to the front lines. It's going to take more than one turn, but it's absolutely worth it. Let's go ahead and attack. Pretty nice there. We did get the enemy to pull back, and here's what we're going to do, guys. Immediately, boom. We're just trying to cut the enemy off here. Now, we can upgrade the U.S. 2nd Division, or we could get command points, specialize, etc. I'm going to take the free specialization here. I'm also going to use the recon just to go ahead and take a look and see if we can spot any enemies here near the tank. If we can hold this position, guys, I can't express how helpful it's going to be to our entire campaign. So that's obviously the goal, is to hold that position. Now, we've got another tank here, and I'm thinking we want to bring this guy in and maybe assist. Let's do that. Let's try and help our boys get to that supply point. So as you can see here, just pretty much cutting off the enemy anywhere we can. That's really our goal right now. Let's go right through. And as you can see, we also took some prisoners there at Faid Pass, and we also got a transport, which can supply an HQ or a motor pool. The HQs and motor pools are seen right here. Let's get this down. So you guys can pretty much see what this covers, and if we want to see like what area is covered, we could take a look at the supply network. So we could see the supply running up here pretty well. Over here, not so much. There's not really much supply running. Up here, again, supply running, pretty nice. We want to keep this supply running to all of our forces engaged. And again, in this fight, the one thing working in the enemy's favor is the fact that there's so much terrain here, so much desert, that it's very easy to get cut off from supply. I'm pretty content with that first turn. I don't really see what else we can do. Just bring the British over. We could try and start attacking, although I kind of was hoping that the enemy would be weakened before we start. But you know what? Like, with this attack here, we're going to completely breach the enemy without taking any casualties. So I'll go for it. Move these boys out. Let's grab our New Zealand infantry. Let's first see if the British infantry can do some more damage. No, it looks like they can both do about the same. Attack. No offense to my Kiwi subscribers. I wasn't making a joke. I didn't see the chits. So there's 5 chits on each, yeah. Otherwise, I would have said, yeah, of course the New Zealanders can withstand the fight. Boom. So we are slowly damaging them. And I think, yeah, we do need to damage. We could just wait for the units to be out of supply, but no, we want to start the fighting now because, again, the one thing about Unity of Command 2, and I'm not sure if you guys like this, I'm not a fan of it, is the countdown timer. And the countdown timer right now, we get 9 turns. That's it. So we're kind of forced to continue pushing, when if this was maybe like Strategic Command, or if this was Gary Grigsby's War in the East, I might go ahead and be tempted to just wait until the enemy's out of supply before, you know, risking the lives of my men, as it were. I really wanted to go for the enemy infantry, but the SDKFC was so ripe for the picking there. We can actually go ahead and play one of our cards, our Naval Bombardment card. So let's bring this baby up, and let's fire at the SDKFC. It's going to be one of the few units we can target. Unfortunately, our naval bombardments can only hit the units here. Now, see, we're still learning in the game, because what we should have done is use the naval bombardment first, then attacked. We would have absolutely crushed that unit. Let's see. All right, everybody is pretty much stationary now. We can't cross this area. I'm calling it the Salt Flats, but I think it represents some sort of mountain. We cannot get through it, but there's time later. All right, let's end the turn. Let's hope we made all the right decisions. First things first, damage that SCKFC a little bit while we can, and also the reason I think is the terrain here. We've got mountain terrain. We can also damage the Italian tank. One killed in action, not bad at all. Oh, that I didn't mean to do, but it's okay. The enemy won't be able to get through here, I hope. Let's end the turn, boys, and see what happens. They're absolutely going to try to get rid of our tank there. He's going to cause major problems to the enemy. You can already see all of those exclamation points. That's letting us know they're out of supply, and they're retreating quickly from this area. We have a great opportunity to go ahead and grab that supply depot right there, grab all that fuel, and get a little boost to our invasion. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna... Ooh, I expected we'd be able to move a little farther than that. Okay, fair enough. So we really do have to take the fight to the enemy. Let's push here. Breach them. That was fast. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, guys. So what we're going to do, we're going to be a little sneaky here. We're going to grab the fuel and get behind the enemy tank so we can immediately start damaging that. The last thing I need are German Panzers, heavy tanks here in the field. We don't need to be dealing with that. That's just a little too much stress for my liking. I'm going to take this tank up and just try and destroy the remaining enemy infantry unit there. And what I wanted to do is grab one of our infantry units and put him in his place, but I don't think we can get there this turn. And that scares me because even though we do have a supply line going this way, this is a very narrow road. And the more tiles we have open, the easier it is for that supply to actually get through. So we're not operating at peak efficiency right now. No way we're going to break through there, but we don't need to. Bring this tank up, and I think we can go ahead and wipe out the German armor completely. Beautiful. We've got an enemy SDKFZ here. He should be easy pickings as well. But, this is a big but, we don't have a chance to attack him this turn because we've already used up our attacks. Now, Sfax is right there. We could probably just go ahead and take the city, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that would be a little too easy. What I'm going to do is try to cut it off. So there we go. As you can see, cutting off the city, and there was only one infantry unit there, so I'm hoping it'll be fairly easy to get through. We couldn't carry out an attack, but what we can do is cause further confusion amongst the enemy lines. We could either get back to our lines, or we could take the enemy supply depot here. I think you know what we have to do. We've got to take the supply depot. And at this point, we still have some bombers. That's right, guys. From the previous turn. Definitely not going to waste them here. We don't need them here. We need our bombers to support our troops in the northwest. And that's going to be this area right here. Already I see some enemies out of supply, but you can see that our troops are also starting to become out of supply, which is a little concerning, to say the least. So yeah, we can't do any damage there. Can't do any damage there. Oh my goodness. Look at this, guys. Oh, I could also go for the SDKFC, but no. It's always best to cut off the enemy. So just to make sure I kill that tank, I want to make sure that tank is gone, or that tank army, really. Let's attack. Overrun. Killed in action. Beautiful. Got one SDKFC there. I'd love to be able to attack it this turn. Unfortunately, there's no way we can get there. That's not going to happen. What else can we do here? What other damage can we cause to the Germans? So I could go for a bombing run here. I don't ever expect to get through here because the enemy has some mountains here, and they defend this area pretty well with the Italian infantry. So yeah, again, we're not going to be busting through. What I am going to try to do is maybe cut through both units and see if I could sneak past. This is kind of risky as well. And for our naval bombardment, I mean, we've got one. We might as well use it. Although I think we could save it for the next turn instead of wasting it there. It's going to be pretty easy to take the infantry unit out of Sfax, so we'll just worry about that when the moment arrives. Let's see, can we move anybody else? I think that's going to be it. I was really hoping we could take the prisoners here and just grab that ground, but unfortunately, the powers that be have decided we've got to wait another turn. Keep on doing damage to the Italian tanks, but I'm definitely not attacking the German Panzer army. Although, we'll cut through here, and again, because this is the only pass the enemy tanks can get through, otherwise I wouldn't make this move, they have to go through here. They cannot traverse mountains, only infantry can. Alright, let's end the turn. I think so far so good, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. Ooh, moving some Italian tanks forward for a counterattack. Is that what I'm looking at here? Now, they have taken the road back to Sfax, but this road is actually... No, I'm wrong. They're still cut off. Hopefully, we can keep this going. We can keep this momentum up. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is immediately open up this area more. I definitely want to get this SDKFC out of the way, and again, that also opens up the area a little bit more. And the SDKFC has another attack, which is really great. Occasionally, I don't think it's every time, but occasionally when... Oh, I'm wrong. So when you destroy a unit, you get another attack. If you get a successful attack, doesn't matter. You need to destroy the enemy unit. I move this guy here. I'd love to go straight for the city. It's really more of a town. But that's not what we're doing. We're going to move here, taking some prisoners. And let's bring the rest of our armor up. Actually... Yeah, that's going to be the guy that's going to have to finish the job. And we will take the city. Now, we're already having issues with supply, as you guys can see. So what we're going to do is actually move the supply depot up. Let's take a look here. The supply hub. So we're going to move this. I'm hoping this is sufficient. There we go. We'll only know next turn if it was good enough. And let's see what else we can do here. So again, cutting off the road would be nice, but we're still trying to get to Infidaville. So I think this road is more important than one near Calroan. Here's what we're gonna do. Nice. Yes! Oh, if he could just move one more tile, that would be amazing. Just a single tile. It ain't gonna happen, though, folks. I think I'm gonna let my infantry deal with all the entrenched enemy units here, just to allow our... Well, pretty much to allow our armor to continue forward without stopping. And again, time is of the essence in this battle, so I think it's especially important. I'm not going to unnecessarily damage our troops, though. Obviously, if we can destroy the enemy effectively without losing any men, that's what we want to go for. So that's why I'm attacking these much weaker units and pretty much ignoring the tanks. And you can see the infantry does not get that tank bonus of another attack after they destroy a unit. That's kind of unfortunate. As long as they don't cut this road off, we're fine. I was kind of looking there and thinking, like, it's a little risky. But again, keep in mind, they can't cross this area. They have to come through over here on the bridge. So as long as we can hold that, I think we're going to be okay. This is the only tank I'm actually keeping back just to destroy that. And we can actually specialize. We can get some command points for the next battle. Let's decide later. So we get to upgrade the US 2nd. You know what? Give him a demolition specialization, why not? And let's go ahead and grab those prisoners. Alright. Welcome aboard, folks. Put your weapons down, and we won't destroy you. Let's keep pushing forward, guys. We are trying to cut off Infidaville, but more importantly, we're trying to grab that supply depot behind enemy lines. Like the Italian tank made a mistake moving forward. Let's see if we can't make him regret that mistake even more. No, I'm not going to push forward on that attack. That's crazy. What we will do is push forward here, and we'll take a bomber to that infantry division there. We could just get an attack right now and be perfect, and actually we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. Yeah, we can, but it wouldn't go very well with the DDM Constantine, the Free French Infantry. I'm sure they'd love to charge, but it ain't going to happen, boys. Now, can we get any sort of help from our naval bombardment? I don't believe so, because no enemies are actually close here to the area, so I don't think that's going to happen. Let's also try to move all of these depots as well. Go here. We're actually moving our HQs, not our supply depots, as it were. All right. I'm hoping that's good enough, guys. Turning it over to the Germans, no pun intended. Definitely trying to retake that road. And they have sent someone to defend the supply depot. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Also got a pretty effective bombing run there on our troops in the southwest. I don't think it's going to stop our momentum, but it does surprise me a little bit. Now, what do we do? That's the question. We keep moving. Of course, we keep moving. We can't attack, but we can certainly continue to cut off the enemy. Or we could bring this tank back and come back a little bit later when we're more prepared. I think I'm going to push forward and decide what to do with that tank here in a bit. Let's cover as much ground as possible, and it looks like the supply did work. That tank was resupplied, although now I'm thinking I want to move the HQ even farther forward to the city of Sfax. I don't see any point in leaving it here. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I see an easy chance to kill that SDKFC, or at least to send him packing. And now, our infantry can really close in for the kill. Obviously, we can't cut off all of the enemy. What we'll do is just sit in this area here, cut the road off, and hopefully this will hold. That's going to make the enemy's job a lot harder and start to deny supply to all of these guys here. Unfortunately, they are still getting a road here from Sucé, these guys over in this area. So we still have our work cut out for us there. Surrender or die. Good work, boys. Send in the Indian infantry to finish off the Italian tanks here. Give the glory here to the Indians. And we'll finish them off with this unit. This unit's also almost out of supply. And I think we've got... that tank is going to be completely destroyed by the end of the turn. Take some Panzer captains prisoner. Why not? Get them in our new prison camps. And maybe even get some information out of them. If our boys do their job right. Alright, let's see how the enemy actually reacts to this. This is a pretty major push, as you can see. I still haven't moved the HQ up. I'm going to keep them here for now. But if we see some of our guys start to lose supply, then of course we'll change our tactics. Alright, I don't think this tank's going to do very well. That's right, we got to decide what to do with him. So you know what? I was thinking let's get him back on the line and try and get him those supplies. And we've got enough turns to do that, so that's what I'm going to do. I hate to leave this area, but I think it's the best choice. Now, we're going to even move the general. So let's get the general here to Sfax. And we'll even do it with the US HQ. We'll get it over here. We're entirely supporting our tanks, let's be honest. That's all we care about right now. If our tanks can break through, they can take Enfidaville, we've got a victory on our hands. So that's the goal here. And look at that. I didn't even see this, but we actually have a chance to either take out enemy infantry or an enemy SDKFC. Let's go for the SDKFC. I wish we got another attack. That's just a pretty lucky little opportunity we got there. So I think what we can try to do is sneak past the enemy. Yeah, pretty unlikely, but we're going to try to sneak past the enemy with this infantry unit. Let's go ahead, end the turn, but before we do that, we got to use our bombs. Drop one there. That was not effective at all. Wow, okay. That was actually extremely effective. Suppressed them completely, but we've got to wait till next turn to attack. So let's end our turn. I'm hoping we can even maybe get a victory before the time limit is up. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This game can get extremely frustrating because of the inability to to win a battle if you don't complete every objective in the correct order, or I should say in the correct time format. There we go, pushing forward. You know what? We could still cut them off. Let's do it. It's not going to be good for our units because they're out of supply, but the rest of our tanks are doing great. And what we're going to do here is actually cut some of these guys over here to assist breaking through to our men. I don't see how this would possibly be a penalty for us. Oh, it's because the enemy's in a city. So a -3 because the enemy's in a city. I was saying, like, there's no way Italian tanks outmatch us here. There's just no way. No offense to the Italians. And actually, I love, if you guys watch my close combat videos, you know I love and absolutely adore the Semovente tank. So I'm not exactly anti-Italian tank, but again, come on. Heavy British tanks, or heavy American tanks against Italian tanks, yeah, the Americans are going to win every single time. Keep keep on pushing, boys. I believe that we will be out of supply here very soon. Now, what I'm thinking I want to do, I want to open this up even more. As you can see, make it even easier for us to get into this area. So I've gone ahead and taken that. And I'm thinking maybe we move our HQs one more time. I was tempted to keep on moving these infantry forward. I think we have to, just to be, you know, for the realism to be a part of the equation here. But, you know, frankly, I don't think these guys are going to be able to get anywhere here in an appropriate time period to help us with the battle. That being said, we've also still got a few more cards we can use. We've got the amphibious naval landing. We've also got this transport, which will supply a motor pool. And let's see. So we can actually drop our boys in Sussex. We can drop them right there. Good work. All right. And we're already at Amphidaville. There's just one more enemy unit to destroy, so I'm really hoping that this goes well. I'm not touching the HQs. I'm going to leave them like they are. Just making sure there's nothing else I can do? I don't think so. That's going to be it, boys. We'll end the turn. Oh, that's right. How could I forget? Good old bombardments. So even though it looks like they're pretty weak here, I'm still going to bomb the Amphidaville area. And I'll also hit the area with the Italian tanks. Then again, since they're cut off, they're going to be even weaker next turn. No, you know what? We'll save our attacks for Amphidaville. And this guy looks sure enough. He can get past the enemy unit, the Superga, the DF Superga, the Italian infantry guarding this mountain. That's pretty shocking. Okay, end the turn. They're absolutely bringing folks back to defend. I do see one of our American tanks out of supply, but everybody else seems to be fine. So I think we're all right. I think being the most important factor here. Now, we did have an objective failed Kuran because we could have taken Kuran by turn 5 to get an additional boost here, but I'm all right with that. I don't mind not taking it. What I do want to do is get the enemy out of this area, and what we're going to do, we've got the naval bombardments too. I think we can get an easy victory here, folks. It's going to be a really cheap victory because this unit right here that we're going to use to attack, the amphibious unit, only has one actual chit, which means that they're badly bloody. There's not many men left. And we'll go ahead and use our naval bombardment as well. Soften the area up even more. Good shot, boys. Here we go, guys. And I think we've got it. No, we still can't move through. Can we move through over here? I guess, wow, we really have to take out this tank. Okay, fair enough. They made it a little bit tougher for us. I think that the Amphidaville area is up here, if I'm not mistaken. How can we not get in there? That's very strange. Getting closer with that infantry. And at this point, we'll just cut off the enemy anywhere they are. I mean, they have no one here at Amphidaville. I'm even going to take this tank just to be, like, really safe. I don't see any enemies here, but I'm going to move him back over here to Sfax to defend it. And let's take that supply depot, cut them off even more. That just gave a bunch of supply to every single unit here. I adore that. I'm going to move this infantry unit back and see if we can't push the tank in. Alright, boys. Now, let's take it. Alright, that's going to be a victory. The victory goes to the British Armored. Good work. And we'll, of course, disband their HQ, completely shutting down their operations in the sector. At this point, every single one of these German soldiers is going to be begging us, and I mean begging us to take them prisoner. They have no food coming to them. Their army is hundreds of miles away now. So, yeah, they're going to want to give up pretty soon. I'm even going to carry out one final attack just to keep up the Agrippa brand. You know, you got to always keep the offensive going, even if you don't need it. Let's push there, and we'll end the turn. We don't need to move those guys. They can pretty much scour the deserts here for any hiding Wehrmacht units. Africa Corps units. I'm sure they'll be around. And we've got one more chance to try to take this area back, but I think we've got the cat in the bag, guys. That's going to be objectives completed. We end the scenario. Now, in this game, you can choose to continue the scenario to increase the damage done, but we're going to end it right here. And the really cool thing I love about the end of the Unity of Command 2 battles, one thing I dislike is the fact that you only get this end if you win. You don't get the end. If you lose, you don't see casualties, which is just really weird. And it shows you a percentage of pretty much who put the most work in, who lost the most men during this battle. Pretty amazing. So most of our losses were British at 10%, 2% British, 10% British, 2% American. No one else was really affected here, so they got fairly lucky. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you're new. It's really tough to keep a strategy channel going, especially with the climate as it is today here on this platform. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Catch you on the next one, folks.